Hey guys, what's up? This is kaozbender here again for yet another video, and welcome to a Mario Kart 8 test comparison, whatever you want to call it, between the kart, the bikes, the sports bikes, and the ATV. Before I mention anything, I have to say that this video is going to be very biased because I do not like the ATVs at all. If you guys like them, just don't let this video change your mind. I don't like the ATVs just one bit. For more information, just make sure to stay tuned, and let's begin. So I'm just going to be rambling on for this video. I have had, many hours of game time now with Mario Kart 8. The game is just completely great. Mentioned it in a lot of my videos, and I just, have experience with, all of the carts that the game has to offer. The regular carts, which are kart bodies. Got a lot of gameplay with a sports bike. Actually, that is my favorite build. With the regular bikes and the ATV, I have used it to the point that I know it's not my cup of tea. And I am going to be, just showing you guys some gameplay for my comparison. Right now, you are watching, just me showing the stats of like the carts and stuff. Like maybe not how they look, but these are the stats. As you can see, the kart is I'm not gonna say balanced because this. Oh, and keep in mind, I am doing all of these with both my Mii and the standard wheels and the super glider. So everything is a standard thing. The kart, the sports bike, the regular bike, the sports bike, and the ATV, all of them are the default that you get. So as you can see right now, or in the video itself, the kart, I'm not gonna say it's the most balanced because again, the stats on every single card combination depend mostly on your character as well as your wheels. The wheels that you are, holding, the ones that you have unlocked and stuff. But if you can notice, the kart has very, very focused stats on, speed in specific. So the best speed, and by the way, this is something that I'm going to be detailing a whole lot more in the in-depth series for the kart combinations that I recommend and stuff, but the kart is the one that is sort of the most balanced because it has just good stats with speed, acceleration, handling, and overall it is a very, very good way to start the game if you are not feeling comfortable. The drifts are actually extremely, if I can say, exactly the same as Mario Kart 7. If you have played that game, it is virtually the same. However, the where it changes is actually the sports bike. Now, the bikes are also very balanced in the fact that they have decent speed, decent handling. But the difference between the regular kart and the regular bike is that if you remember in one of the Nintendo Directs for Mario Kart 8, one of the video game, I'm not really sure if it was a producer, programmer, or just tester in general, said that the karts have a higher performance when it comes to straight lines and just places in which they can perform the best speed. As you see, or as you remember from the gameplay that this person had to offer, if you put a kart in a specific track, it will perform a lot better if there are more straight lines in which you do not move. However, the bikes actually perform better in places where you have a lot of turns, and this is for both of the bikes. However, I'm done talking about the karts and the bikes, it's themselves. But if you take a sports bike, and if you remember the inside drifting from Mario Kart Wii, you will know that it is very, very different. In Mario Kart Wii, you just started the inside drifter right away. However, in Mario Kart 8, if you have an inside drift bike, there is going to be a very slight delay in which you are going to start the inside drift, and this technique is actually very useful if you know how to handle it. Right now, that is the Yoshi bike, which is a sports bike, capable of performing inside drifting. Is actually my favorite build at this moment. But I'm actually starting to decide between kart with maximum speed or the sports bike in general. So it all depends on what you feel. I mean, the best thing that I can tell you is that just go ahead and experience. But this is just the comparison so far. Karts have a better performance in straight lines. Bikes have a better performance actually in the turns. And the bikes with inside drifting, which are the sports bikes, which you can see the logo, the icon when you are selecting your kart, those are better for very, very sharp turns. Now, there is a part in your drift if you are using a sports bike in which you are going to start to slow down on the sharpness of your turn, and this is potentially going to make your turns a lot more open once you have reached this point in which you cannot do the inside drift as sharp. Now, this is obviously avoided by just performing your turn as fast as you can with your drift, and then you let go of the right to trigger. And this is very, very useful, like I said before, for sharp turns, and that is just the difference between the regular bike and the sports bike. So we have already compared all of these three. So again, the kart is performing the best on straight lines, and the drift is actually very comfortable. The drifts on the regular bikes are also very comfortable, and they have the advantage on the turns. The sports bike have a very, very distinct advantage on very sharp turns, up until a point in which your drift starts to slow down a little bit, which could potentially cause you to lose a little bit of time. However, it's not that noticeable, and I do still recommend to check it out if it seems like it's your cup of tea. And now the next thing that I have avoided for the whole video, the ATVs. So I'll be honest, I already played a couple of matches with the ATV, but the first one was, the first time I used an ATV was in one of my episodes for Mario Kart 8. I believe it was the Leaf Cup, in which I used an ATV. No, it was the Star Cup, I think. And the stats on the thing are horrific. I cannot tell you how bad they are. Now, the thing that I complain about the most, and it's not that big of a complaint because I don't really care about the ATVs, I don't use them, and if you go online you will see that the people actually focus on either sports bikes or karts with maximum acceleration. In any types of VR, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, there is a very small chance in which you are going to find someone using an ATV and performing very well. Without items, that is. Of course, if someone gets, an item, a very good item, with an ATV, they can potentially end up in first place. But if you look at world records, and if you download ghosts for all of the tracks, you will see that all of those people are most likely using a kart with the highest speed as well as the heaviest character to give them even more of a lead. None of the world records so far involve an ATV as far as I have seen. Now, I'm recording this on the 7th of June, on the 8th of June, I'm sorry, which so far there is no very, very good potential for the ATVs on a competitive level in Wi-Fi races and all that stuff. Now, the thing with ATVs is that you could potentially, it would be a lot better if you could perform a drift and keep it while you are off-road. However, I already tested this with the highest possible traction stat ATV with the monster wheels, and you cannot do it. The thing is virtually inferior to everything else in the game, and just remember, this is my personal opinion. I don't like it at all, but just again, make sure to go ahead and try it out for yourself if you choose to do so. I am just going to stick to the sports bike and a kart with the highest speed that I can find. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something useful today, just make sure to go ahead and check out what is your own cup of tea. If you like the ATV, that's fine. But yeah, just go ahead and find the thing you like the most, and if you do find it, make sure to check out the following week where I'm going to be starting my Mario Kart 8 in-depth series, which the main episodes are going to go up on Nimbus, but the first guides that I had, the first 5 initial videos, are going to be on this channel, which is going to be great. And just make sure to tune in for me to suggest card combinations that I really like, that I see are very useful, that I see a lot of in competitive play. And that is pretty much it. So you guys have a great day, take care of yourselves, and until my next video, which is actually a very special one, I will see you then.